on social media and whatnot, as I think a lot of people would want to watch this if they knew it was going on. So spawning down in the bottom right hand side, it is the big boy. It is PartinG, recently making a return to SC2. We'll have to see how he's able to do versus his opponent. Playing for Team My Insanity, spawning up in the top left hand side of the map, it is PtitDrogo. PtitDrogo is a one of the best French Protoss. I mean, recently there's been sort of up-and-comers like DNS, but PtitDrogo is sort of a top Protoss in the scene for a while. He really established himself after his DreamHack win in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to see how these two guys go at it. I believe we'll likely see the standard PvP double gate way opening. Other than that, it's good to see PartinG mirroring the builds of PtitDrogo. That's sort of the one thing you worry, or you not worry, but wonder about with pros who are returning. How fast do they catch up on the builds? How fast are they sort of up to date on the meta? Looks like PartinG is ready to throw up his extra gate, and so is PtitDrogo. PartinG throwing up his extra gateway, moving out for a scout to make sure he knows what his opponent's up to. Both these guys scouting, so nothing out of the ordinary here. We'll see, recently with the stalkers changed a little bit. We'll see if one of them makes adepts or something like that. Other than that, pretty standard stuff coming out of both these guys. I mean, the builds are pretty much mirrored down to the dot on the eye there. So we've got the scouts moving in for each of these guys. They're both going to see. Usually the follow-up for something like this is either an expansion or a Stargate. With both of them going heavy into the double gas, it's likely going to be a Stargate for both of them, I have to assume. It's sort of going to be a it's going to be a bit of a standoff, I think, in this game. I guess either of them could go for whatever they like. A Sentry and a Stalker on the way for PartinG. PartinG, if PartinG was reincarnated as a StarCraft unit, it would likely be a Sentry. So neither of these guys actually going for a Stargate just yet. PtitDrogo is investing in his, so he's a little bit of extra gas going on into that, whereas PartinG chrono boosting out his Warp Gate research, so maybe looking to put on a bit of physical aggression there. While looking like he's probably going to try and get up a quick Nexus himself. So PtitDrogo will have the tech advantage. He's going to have out the Stargate. He can always go for a Phoenix, something like that. PartinG's so dirty, going for a pylon block. They're going to have to cancel that relatively soon. However, unfortunately for him, didn't really pay off there, as PtitDrogo was not actually looking to expand, just doing that cheeky PartinG stuff there. Ultimately not getting much value there. So PartinG going for his own Stargate. It's a very delayed one. Makes you wonder if it's just going to be for something like a Phoenix to shut down PtitDrogo's Oracle that will be incoming. PartinG did not scout out PtitDrogo's Stargate or anything like that. So we'll just have to see how this game is going to work out. Whether a PartinG takes a lot of damage from this Stargate. He's throwing up a shield battery at the front. We'll see where he rallies his Stalkers, as this Oracle is going to be moving across the map relatively soon once it's done for PtitDrogo. He's really chrono boosting that out. We'll see if PartinG is going to go for a Phoenix to shut this down. PartinG does have 2 Stalkers at the front, whereas PtitDrogo is going to be moving in with 4, so it's going to be a little bit worrying. He's going to have to react very quickly. His own Sentry is sort of just off in La La Land as well. I don't know if that was for scouting or what. He will have the shield battery though, so he will be able to shut down this aggression of PtitDrogo essentially for nothing there. So PartinG safe at the front, but the question is, will he be safe? He's making his own Oracle and he's chrono boosting it out, whereas PtitDrogo is about to head on in. PartinG going to be in a bit of trouble. He's going to have to retreat there. This Oracle going to come in, waste a bit of time killing off that one probe there, but we'll see how much else it's going to be able to get done. PartinG starting to lose probes right now. However, only 2 have gone down, so he is safe. PtitDrogo though is working away on his shield battery, and if that shield battery goes down, that's a lot of the defensive ability for PartinG there. So far losing that shield battery, losing the 2 probes, nothing too major though. PtitDrogo did scout PartinG's Stargate though, so he is aware of this. We'll see if a second Oracle is going to come in. So PartinG needs to get into position for this. He's making a Phoenix, however, it's not going to be done in time. Well, he actually has 1 already, pardon me, so he's going to have to focus down these Oracles. Going to focus down the weakened one, however. This is going to be a lot of damage done by PtitDrogo. 6 probes have gone down. PartinG, though, getting some counter probes with his Oracle. Jesus, I've actually never seen that Oracle skin, excuse me. That sort of surprised me a little bit. I was wondering what was going on with that. PartinG, though, getting some nice counter damage done, though, so his situation not too dire. due to that fact, actually getting a really good amount of value with this Oracle for himself, killing off so many probes with just that one Oracle. PartinG, evening up the worker count, down by only one worker at this stage in the game. So very well played by PartinG there, and he also has the 2 Phoenix, so he can shut down any further units and get usage out of them. PtitDrogo, I believe he was maybe looking to get out another Oracle, but decided against it. So this is a very scrappy game, and PartinG, it looked a little dire for him, I'll admit, but ultimately not taking much damage there. Sees those Stalkers moving out, so he's going to have to make sure that he can defend this Nexus. He has a pylon at the low ground. Is he going to pull back his Phoenix? The lifts on 1 or 2 Stalkers will be so critical here. PtitDrogo trying to muscle his way up this ramp. PartinG going to be able to focus down one of those. However, he's going to lose his own units at this point. 3 Stalkers versus 6, even including the ones that aren't in the air there. So PartinG warping in more units here. However, without a shield battery, it could be a little rough for him. He's going to lift up another unit. Needs to make another lift if he has the energy, though. However, he doesn't quite, so it's looking a little rough for PartinG. PtitDrogo may have just done it with this move out. PartinG going to have to pull more probes here. He's got the 2 Stalkers. He may be able to make something happen. Those probes doing a good job body blocking. However, he's starting to bleed off more and more. PtitDrogo bringing a few more Stalkers across the map. Now the Nexus of PartinG is in trouble. The Phoenix have no energy right now. Probes are forced to pull, and now PartinG losing another Stalker at that stage in the game. It's a little rough for him. PtitDrogo only has 4 Stalkers, however, I mean, 4 is a bigger number than 3, so it's going to be a little rough. Another probe or 2 is going to need to be pulled to support this. PartinG bleeding off units here. Does a good body block with that Zealot there. That's a very nice move. So the probes are going to be able to get this around. Keeping that one other Stalker alive is important. However, PartinG now down by 10 workers. PtitDrogo going to be very happy with that attack. 2 Stalkers moving out, or that was actually an Adept warped in, pardon me. We'll see if these Phoenix are able to lift up one of those Stalkers. That would be a nice sort of counterplay. He is going to lift up one of them. Doesn't have enough energy for a second lift there. So one of these Stalkers will go down, so that's a nice pick-off by PartinG there. We'll see if he's able to catch this other one. That Adept may be going to be able to body block. Actually, it may be able to slow down that Stalker. PtitDrogo getting off a shot there. PartinG, pardon me. However, PartinG lifting that almost injured Stalker might have been better to lift up one of the stronger ones. Now we've got PtitDrogo looking to put on a lot of aggression right now. He's throwing up shield batteries in his main base, so wary of any counterattacks from the Phoenix or anything like that. However, now PartinG's just going to have to hold on back at home. He's down by a lot of probes right now, whereas PtitDrogo's really going to be looking to put on a killing blow right now. He's moving across the map with more Stalkers. He's got up a lot of warp gates here. PartinG has seen all these warp gates, so he knows he's going to need to hold on. PtitDrogo, though, actually just warping in a lot of Adepts, actually, so that's an interesting choice. He didn't get Resonating Glaives or anything like that, as he doesn't even have a Twilight. However, Adepts are an interesting choice here versus PartinG. A Shield Battery 2 will be finishing up. We'll see if PartinG is going to be able to stop these Adepts. He's going to want to maybe wall off there, and he's actually moving a probe into position to do that. So PartinG up to date on what he needs to do right now. Adepts are going to try and shade in. Pylon goes up immediately. However, PtitDrogo may just shade on top right now. Going to try and shade in, but GG just gets called there. PtitDrogo with too much. Takes map number 1. PartinG, though, sort of showed that he knows what to do. But PtitDrogo eventually winning out there. So we're going to get on into the next match. The next second map is actually going to be Eastwatch. So it's a PvP, it's a mirror matchup, so maps don't matter too much. But PartinG, he may be able to make something happen versus PtitDrogo. I'm excited for the remainder of the matches. And even if PartinG does fall to PtitDrogo right now, we'll have a TVP, which will be Supernova versus PtitDrogo. And I think that will be a fantastic match to watch as well. Okay, so we're going to be getting on into the next match right now. It's going to be PartinG versus PtitDrogo on Eastwatch. Thank you guys for tuning into the Afreeca world. Make sure to let your friends know that a match like this is going on. Alrighty, so both players are ready. We're going to be getting on into the next game. Thank you guys for all watching. I don't think we've ever had so many people watching Afreeca World before. I think a fair few of you may be Korean fans, But so you may not necessarily understand everything I'm saying or the commentary, but thank you all for watching. And I know Koreans are a lot better at speaking English than a lot of English speakers Korean, and vice versa. So here we go. Currently up 1-0. Pardon me, I'm trying to get this. There we go. So currently up 1-0, spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map. It is PtitDrogo. We'll see if PartinG's able to bring it back. Who's spawning up the top right-hand side of the map. So the builds were very mirrored at the start of the game there, but they deviated. PtitDrogo went for the faster Oracle. Didn't necessarily get too much damage done at the start of the game with the sort of window he had. I mean, it could have been quite a scary window. However, PartinG did a good job on the defense there, despite it being a little rocky. But then he did end up falling. That aggression from PtitDrogo was a little bit too much. Ever since if you ever have to do something like pull workers in a mirror matchup, it's usually pretty rough for you. Right now, builds mirror out of these guys once again. PartinG though, going for the double gates. PtitDrogo actually just opting for one so far. His other gate coming up there though, so is going to be going for that 2-gate opening. Not mining all of his gas. PartinG though isn't either. I guess the main reason to build up your second geyser quickly is so it can't be gas stolen or anything like that. So both these guys just mining a bit of gas, not necessarily going full tilt on it. So maybe going to be playing a bit more passive. No one rushing to any tech or anything just like that. PartinG having a bit more gas a little bit sooner than PtitDrogo. PtitDrogo is going to swap into his other gases though. PartinG coming in with his scouting probe. PtitDrogo's scouting probe moving in too. We'll see 2 adepts coming out of PtitDrogo. Stalker and Sentry out of PartinG once again. That Sentry form in the last game didn't exactly do too much, and if I'm not mistaken, shades can shade through force fields, can they not? I may be mistaken in that regard, but I believe they can, so we'll see the expansion timings. PartinG, I believe, went for the slightly quicker expansion than PtitDrogo in the last game. PartinG, so cheeky, going for that pylon block once again. However, PtitDrogo not exactly rushing towards his own expansion. We've got a Stargate on the way for PartinG, so he's opting for that quicker option, whereas PtitDrogo going for a fast Twilight here. So we'll have to see if this is for something really cheeky like DTs or maybe a Blink Gate all-in. We'll have to see how this works out. PartinG Stalker will actually see PtitDrogo's probe moving out, so that may sort of set some alarm bells off for him. That a probe moving out to somewhere obscure like the right side of the map may sort of make you wonder, could that be DTs? And it is going to be DTs on the map for PtitDrogo. We'll see what PartinG is able to do versus this. The no expansion is sort of going to be a clue for PartinG that PtitDrogo is not investing in that. There's going to be the 2 adepts moving out across the map as well. PartinG, it's so odd how he places his Sentry there. I mean, a Sentry can fit through, so it's not like it's stuck or anything, unless I'm mistaken. So the 1 Oracle is going to be coming out. PartinG has to be a little bit worried. I mean, her opponent doesn't just not expand. Shield battery being used. By the way, I felt that I needed to mention this. The fact that players build shield batteries instead of pylons because they save you like they save you like 5 minerals or something, because 75 minerals on a cancel is less, or were shield batteries pardon me, never mind. It's sort of hit or miss for things like that. PartinG going for that scout with the Sentry may actually see that there's the Dark Shrine here, and now there's the Oracle on the map. It's heading across the map. So PartinG will know that he's going to need detection here because he's seen this Dark Shrine. So his Robo's on the way. Pardon me, that's actually PtitDrogo's Robo. PartinG throwing up his own Robo there. He's going to have to be on his toes there. Going to intercept one of these adepts. One of them will go down, so he's not going to have to worry about that. However, PtitDrogo will need detection. He's going for a complete wall off, so he should be quite safe from these DTs. PtitDrogo not going to get too much done with them there, as it was a little bit obvious that something was up with that choice to go for the Dark Shrine on 1 base there. So PartinG going to be able to get out an Observer soon. He's kept his Oracle back at home. 1 DT is actually moving in though. We'll see if there's a hallucination on it or a revelation, and there is. So the 2 Oracles for PartinG will be enough to shut this down. He's going to have 1 more revelation on this. Actually, that one Oracle actually doing both Revelations, so not a single worker going down. So PartinG in quite a good situation versus PtitDrogo, throwing up his own Twilight Council. Gonna have these Oracles, which also have high utilization. He's got the better army supply by a significant margin here. PtitDrogo going for a Forge, but ultimately PtitDrogo not in a fantastic situation here. We'll have to see when a player's going to decide to move out for aggression, if that's going to be the case. Both they're equal on economies at this stage. However, PtitDrogo does have the Oracles, so those can always get something done. He's also got the better overall army supply at this stage in the game. PartinG teching away, going to be getting up his own Twilight. We'll see what he's going to do with that, whether it's going to be Blink or Charge. Going to be Glaives, interestingly enough. There's sort of no defined meta for this stage in PvP, as players like to often go for their own thing. Charge Lot Immortal is quite common though, so PtitDrogo going to be maybe looking at that. Third base on the way for PtitDrogo. Okay, maybe he decides he's a little bit behind, so he's going to go for that. These Oracles have scouted this Nexus though, so we'll have to see if PartinG's able to do anything versus that. May inspire PartinG to move out. PartinG getting out... he's already gotten out 2 Observers, so he's wary of those DTs. He's now getting out an Immortal, whereas PtitDrogo doesn't even have a Immortal yet, and PartinG's on his way to his second one. PartinG throwing up 5 Gateways, so he will be the player aiming for some aggression. A DT was warped in by PtitDrogo out on the map. Actually, 2 DTs. Going to be going for some Warp Prism harassment. Observer will see that Warp Prism. We'll need to likely come out of its... higher vision mode though. Oracle's getting some kills there though, abusing that shield battery positioning. They can actually zap those workers in one hit. So we'll have to see if PtitDrogo is able to get a lot of counter damage done. So far 12 probes have gone down on PtitDrogo's side of the map. However, PartinG currently just lost 5. He's ran the probes away and he should be able to catch the CT. PartinG's actually making a Phoenix to shut down this Warp Prism, as it will get away there. PartinG gonna retransfer probes. PtitDrogo did go for the fast third Nexus, and so far it hasn't been shut down. Oh, PartinG needs to be careful with these Oracles, though. One of them's very weak. May actually lose it. PtitDrogo waiting till he gets right underneath it, forces that one Oracle the wrong way. PartinG gonna save the other one, but ultimately losing that one Oracle for nothing is a bit rough. Both players are gonna be on 1-1. PartinG will have the Glaives. He has his own Warp Prism. PtitDrogo does have... and the players will be equal on upgrades, so PartinG will have the Glaives, so we'll see what he's going to go for. PtitDrogo had the Charge. So Glaives generally does beat Charge in a sort of straight-up fight, particularly when PartinG's up this much on supply. PtitDrogo was being a little bit aggressive here to try and come back into this game. However, PartinG's going to hit with a very scary timing. The 2 Immortals in his army versus just the 1, and just the overall army supply size. PartinG going to be moving in for the attack, and Archon morphing for PtitDrogo. However, PtitDrogo quite caught off guard by this, sort of not really in position to intercept it there. Revelation going down on the army just to make sure. And then we see the Oracle even coming in to turn on its beam to help out a little bit, and it looks like that's... actually, no, the Observer went down there. PartinG going to be dying to these DTs, actually. Going to have to retreat there. He doesn't have an Observer. Going to want to maybe shade his Adepts to buy some time, but he's going to have to retreat. So PtitDrogo actually picked off that Observer, and PartinG using that Oracle. Maybe a little bit rash there, not having anything to defend that. So PtitDrogo now on 3 bases. PartinG still up in army supply by a very significant margin. However, he lost that Observer there. PtitDrogo sniped that off. Very massive deal there. We have PartinG moving in for another engagement, and this time he's bringing an Observer. However, that certainly bought PtitDrogo time, mining on this gold base, so he's had a lot of time to come back. Shield batteries were going up right now. Glaive Adepts are going to be able to work on these Zealots rather quickly. There's the 2 Immortals as well. A Phoenix has also joined the party, because why not? These shield batteries are going to be focused down, or at least one of them. One of these Archons may go down. However, no, now the shield battery is actually its own personal medic. However, PartinG still may just have too much, so while PtitDrogo bought himself some time there, I think PartinG may still just have had enough to take the game. So PartinG gonna tie it up. We're gonna have a series on our hands. It's a 1-1 score right now in this best of 5. Alrighty, we're going to be getting on into the next map. which is, as I scroll up through constant logs of chat, it is going to be Blackpink. So, as I said before, maps don't matter too much for a mirror PvP. Over the second map, going PartinG's way. Thank you guys for tuning in. It looks like we're about to break 200 viewers. So I'm glad you guys are all enjoying the stream. Alrighty, so both guys are ready. We're going to be getting on into the third match. We'll see who's able to take the lead in this series. It's a Protoss versus Protoss, and it's a good one at that. Thank you guys for tuning into Afreeca World. We're going to be getting on into the next match. It's a best of 5, tied 1-1 and spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map. We've seen him play in the past 2 games. He's the current Afreeca World Champion. It is PtitDrogo. And now his opponent spawning down in the bottom left-hand side of the map, making his sort of debut return to pro gaming and to Afreeca World. It is PartinG, the big boy. So we'll have to see how the builds go for these two guys. I mean, it was a bit of a gamble for PtitDrogo to go for that gold base. He was behind. Maybe going for a bit of a normal third, which was more defensible, would have been a better investment or something. But pretty much when you go for a one-base Dark Shrine and it doesn't pay off, you're in a lot of trouble regardless. So just maybe the build choice and the fact that PartinG scouted everything. PartinG not being caught off guard there. PvP's meta seems to be double gates, and it's been that for quite a long time in Legacy of the Void, so no surprise to see this. PartinG, really liking this earlier scout to see what his opponent's up to. If you've noticed the past 2 games, his probe has left just slightly before PtitDrogo's. So these guys each having their own style in the matchup. For example, PartinG's swapped to the gas a little bit sooner than PtitDrogo has in the previous games. Probe moving in for PtitDrogo. PartinG's is already in there, just seeing what's going on. We'll see what sort of tech these guys decide to throw up. It's sort of such a standoffish matchup with the probes being able to scout so early and then sort of stick around for so long. PartinG once again liking what he's going for the Sentry and the Stalker, sticking to his own style. PtitDrogo going for the Stalker and the Sentry too, so actually truly mirror builds. Usually things differentiated a bit in the past 2 games, but this time the same thing. PtitDrogo being a little bit cheeky. Back to PartinG, gonna be walling him off. Just gonna give himself vision so that he can see exactly what's coming out of PartinG. This pylon, I believe, will be cancelled. There we go, PtitDrogo. Going for that. PartinG, once again, going for the pylon block. He's really liking that. PtitDrogo actually was looking to go for an expansion this game, I believe, so PartinG delaying him a little bit in that regard. As a PtitDrogo at 400 minerals, so he was looking to go for that. So that's actually working out this time for PartinG. PartinG getting up his own Nexus, his own Stargate. So things looking pretty well for PartinG, just delaying that Nexus a tiny little bit there. So far 2 Adepts on the way for PtitDrogo, so odd sort of timing to make 2 Adepts, but maybe he saw that there's a Sentry. Maybe he's going to go for a bit of aggression, try and shade in, sort of split PartinG with the Oracle. PartinG going for his own Oracle, though, so both these guys are going to be hitting each other. Phoenix on the way for PtitDrogo, so I don't believe he scouted the Stargate. However, he's sort of deciding he knows what PartinG's going for, so this Oracle will be shutting down. So PtitDrogo sort of having the build advantage in this game. Probe is still in position for PtitDrogo or for PartinG, so these Adepts, I don't believe they'll be able to shade in. The Oracle's moving across the map, and it is scouted, both these guys going for a hallucinated Phoenix there. So truly a mirror build besides these two Adepts. PartinG gonna have to wall that off there. Oh, and he doesn't. He goes for a Warpin', however, that does not block Adept Shades, so PartinG mis-microing a little bit, gonna pull some probes to try and kill off these Adepts, however, losing some workers. 4 workers going down so far. PtitDrogo really taking a advantage. We'll see if this Adept's able to get any more. I don't believe it will be able to. PartinG killed off 2 workers there in the main base, however, his Oracle did go down, so PtitDrogo really taking the lead in this game. He's continuously making Phoenix. PartinG started to produce his own Phoenix, so it's going to be Phoenix versus Phoenix. However, PartinG significantly down in the economy, so that's going to be a little rough. We'll see how this game of Phoenix Chicken works out. See, for example, just for half a second, PartinG wasn't making a Phoenix. We'll see what PartinG's able to do. It's currently 2 to 4 Phoenix, so PtitDrogo, if he decides to move across the map, may still have the Phoenix lead. However, I don't think he's going to be expecting PartinG to be going for his own Phoenix right now. PartinG may be able to catch out PtitDrogo here. PtitDrogo coming in with these Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix fights can really go either way. There's the 3 Phoenix. They're actually going to meet right now. PartinG, though, not controlling his, sees his opponents. So now they both know both of them are massing Phoenix. We'll see how many each of them goes for. If PartinG is going to continuously make another Phoenix. He actually doesn't, so both these guys are going to be at 4 Phoenix. A bit of an odd number. PartinG's catching a bit up in the worker count, as I mean, PtitDrogo on 2 bases. You can only make so many workers on 2 bases, so PtitDrogo investing in another attack, getting out his +1 much sooner than PartinG will ever have it, investing in more gateways here. So we'll see what he's going to try and do with his lead right now. Hallucinated Phoenix for PartinG, going to meet a real Phoenix of PtitDrogo, sees that he's not producing anymore, so both these guys knows what's up. Blink is on the way for PtitDrogo, whereas PartinG going into a Robo right now, so we'll see if it's going to be that Sentry Immortal Stalker versus the Blink Stalker for PtitDrogo. PtitDrogo may very well be going for a Blink all-in. He is looking to take a very quick 3rd Nexus, and there's not much PartinG can do to deny this. As PartinG just naturally behind there a little bit with the build, with the fact that those Adepts got in for PtitDrogo. The supply is even, more or less at this point. However, there is the 3rd for PtitDrogo, whereas there's not for PartinG. We'll see if PartinG throws up his own later 3rd. He's got the resources for the time being. However, he's not quite moving out just yet. We'll see if he goes, and he is going to go for that. So going to have the slightly slower Nexus, so PartinG just going to be playing from a bit of a deficit. We'll have to see if he's able to make up for this with army control. Going to lose that 1 probe as well. Actually tied up in probes now, however, I believe PtitDrogo is going to be going for an attack, so PartinG does need to be aware of this. He's scouting all the gateways, so PartinG is aware that this attack is going to be incoming. And PartinG doesn't really have a choice. He is going to have to try and hold on this attack. It looks like it's going to be Archon. There's no charge for PtitDrogo, so it's going to be Archon Blink with a few Zealots in the mix versus PartinG. PartinG, I think the best thing he can do is just continuously try and Chrono Boost out Immortals here. Maybe throw up a shield battery at his 3rd. He definitely is going to need a pylon at his 3rd. The Phoenix met for the 2 of them. It looks like PartinG came out on the losing end of that, though. Now, the Phoenix for PtitDrogo will be much more effective, though, as Archons can't be lifted, whereas PartinG's Immortals will be able to be lifted. PartinG investing in a lot of gates, however, I'm not sure it's going to work out for him. He may just lose his 3rd base here. PtitDrogo warping in oh so many Stalkers right now, and this is where PtitDrogo may just move in. This 3rd base not quite cancelled right now. PartinG completely really unaware of this attack. He's going to cancel the Nexus there, and that's PtitDrogo taking a massive lead in this game. PtitDrogo hasn't probed too hard, however, I believe with canceling this Nexus, he'll go right back into doing that. And just producing his own units, whereas PartinG will likely have to move out for his own attack. PartinG warping in some High Templar. Gonna actually have nothing to respond to these Phoenix, so he's gonna be losing some critical gas mining probes right now. These Phoenix have a lot of energy, so PartinG gonna lose a lot of probes right now. His own Phoenix are coming in. He's going to have a Stalker or 2, however. Can't force those back with less Phoenix. So PartinG taking a loss right now. It looks like PtitDrogo really just running away with this game. PartinG just going to play from behind, it seems, so getting this later 3rd base. It's hard to know if that's the right decision. It's with this smaller army, with his soon-to-be upgrade deficit, that's maybe not the worst decision. Stalkers for PtitDrogo moving out, going to try and abuse that high mobility. We'll see if they're able to pick anything off. I believe that was a probe going down there, maybe a Phoenix. PartinG will have his Phoenix here, so maybe he'll be able to lift up one or two of these Stalkers for PtitDrogo. Force field going down, forcing back one or two of these Stalkers. Needs to be careful not to lose an Archon. That's a massive loss. PtitDrogo picking off an Archon for free there. And now PtitDrogo bringing in the rest of his forces. PartinG is going to be a bit of a tough spot right now to hold on. He's researching charge, however, he doesn't have it just yet, whereas PtitDrogo does, so his Zealots are going to be less effective there. He's got a good Archon count. He's got a good Immortal count compared to PtitDrogo, so we'll have to see if he's able to make it happen. This is going to be a very tough defense, though. PtitDrogo, I believe, accidentally just shot one of his own units there. Maybe supply blocked, wanting to warp in another High Templar so he can get up to his 4th Archon. PartinG knows that this attack's going to be incoming. The fight's going to be going down. There's charge for PtitDrogo, no charge for PartinG. We'll see. Guardian Shield going up for both of these players right now. Phoenix lifting PtitDrogo's Immortal there very briefly. PartinG warping Zealots right on top of his opponent. However, it looks like that PartinG may just be losing out right now. GG gets called. PtitDrogo taking the 2-1 lead there. So PartinG's going to have to fight back. He's going to be on the ropes from now on. We'll see what the next map is. The 4th map is going to be Acid Plant. PtitDrogo seems to be doing quite well in the sort of straight-up games, so we'll see if he's going to go for that again, or what these two players go for. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Afreeca World Invitational. This is Invitational number 9, so this tournament's been running for a while now. However, we had a brief hiatus while we sort of dived into the team league there. Either way, we're going to be getting on into the next game relatively soon. Okay, both players are ready. It's a PvP. We'll see. Will the sort of retired, well, recently returning, I can't use the word retired anymore, recently returning Korean Protoss be able to bring down the I guess, French invader here? Alrighty, so PartinG on the ropes. The map is Acid Plant. It's a best of 5 in which PtitDrogo is leading 2-1, spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. And his opponent, the big boy himself, will he be able to bring it back? It's PartinG. So, I mean, we've seen mirror builds mainly throughout the series. There's the odd diversion, like the Oracle really didn't work out for PartinG that game. So there's been a build order loss or two in this series. We'll have to see who gets the sort of better end of the stick, unless they go completely mirrored builds. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Feel free to leave a like, follow the channel and everything if you are. Cheering for PartinG, seeing if he'll be able to bring it back. Whether you're biased or not, whether you're a fan of the player or not, it's always great to see an older player. I mean, there's not many esports out there. I'm sort of going on a tangent right now. There's not many esports out there in which you can say, oh, so-and-so retired, but then they came back and they started doing really well. StarCraft's been around a long time, so we've got a fair few stories like that, and we'll see if PartinG's able to be one of those players. As if he does win versus PtitDrogo, there will be a lot of hype. Even taking this one map that he's already got under his belt is a pretty significant accomplishment for him. Both these players moving out, scouting out. Mirror build so far completely. Nothing out of the ordinary. So no cheeses. PartinG not going for a cheese or anything, trying to catch his opponent off guard. PtitDrogo not going for a cheese to try and go for the cheeky series victory. PartinG scouting out his opponent. Both these guys mining all their gas, so we'll see what sort of tech they both go for. Stalker and Sentry versus 2 Stalkers, so PartinG actually changing it up, skipping the Sentry, and I honestly am completely fine with that. The Sentries have not gotten too much use for him so far in the series. Not going for a pylon block on PtitDrogo either. We'll see if he does opt to go for that. Comes on in. Sees what PtitDrogo's up to. PtitDrogo going for his own block there. PartinG just rallying out his Stalkers, though. Gonna walk right past that pylon. I believe would have seen them, though. Pylon gets cancelled, so PartinG knows not to bother wasting your time with something like this. 2 more Stalkers on the way for PartinG. So, gonna be trying to put the aggression on PtitDrogo a little bit. Actually gonna be one-basing it here. So, PtitDrogo, the player who's going for the quicker expansion in this game, PartinG, going up for a 3rd gateway and a robo, so it's gonna be sort of a bit of a 4-gate-esque, well, he's only got 3 right now, but it's going to be a 3-gate robo push, it looks like. This is something that's somewhat common in PvP to my knowledge. There's a shield battery on the way for PtitDrogo, though, and PtitDrogo is actually sort of catching PartinG off guard right now, chasing with the Stalkers. So PartinG going to have to run with his tail between his legs. There's a shield battery on the way. PartinG getting one in his main base to be safe. Make sure that PtitDrogo is not going for anything too cheeky. However, PtitDrogo is just macroing with this robo, so I'm a little worried for PartinG right now, because the fact that his opponent's going for such a safe standard opening, whereas he's going for something aggressive that really needs to get something done, it's a little bit worrying. PtitDrogo will see that probe, so that may be going to put him a little bit on edge there, that there's going to be a proxy or something, when really it is just going to be this 3-gate aggression. PartinG warping in his main base. The Prism not actually going to be scouted there. PtitDrogo sees that there's no 3rd base. Immediately starting 2 more shield batteries at the front, so worried that this is going to be some frontal aggression, and he is going to be right. PartinG 7 Stalkers versus 3 Stalkers and 3 Sentries. We'll have to see. PartinG will have the Warp Prism. PartinG's a very good player when it comes to micro like this. However, there's going to be 3 shield batteries, so that's a lot of energy. PartinG no blink or anything with this attack. We'll have to see if he's able to pick off any units. PtitDrogo really backed into a corner here, so PartinG gonna micro his heart out with this Warp Prism. So far, so good right now, keeping those injured units safe there. Doing the best he can. However, PtitDrogo supported by this almost endless field of shield batteries. PartinG microing back. A lot of his units are very weak. PtitDrogo gonna step forward, try and focus down that Warp Prism. With that Warp Prism go down, PartinG's in a bit of a rough spot there, bleeding off a lot of Stalkers right now, and PartinG forced home on 1 base. He can't really afford to fight there. PtitDrogo's Stalkers are all fresh. PartinG losing 5 Stalkers to 2 Sentries and 2 Adepts, and yeah, now he's forced to throw up his own Nexus back at home. He doesn't really have a choice. However, it looks like that PtitDrogo may be managing to take this series and go to the finals to defend his crown. It's very unfortunate for PartinG, however, that's just the way the builds worked out, so it's a little rough for him. So PtitDrogo slaying PartinG by the looks of it. I mean, I'm not talking about the game being over, however, it is a little rough right now, so PartinG gonna maybe try and put on a bit of pressure. He made another Warp Prism to try and go for anything that he can, feigning more pressure, I suppose, to try and keep PtitDrogo on edge. However, Drogo just reacted perfectly, throwing up 4 shield batteries, just making an Immortal or 2. PartinG is going for a Robotics bait. He's making the comeback unit, if I had to guess. He's going to be going into Disruptors, and they are the comeback unit in StarCraft 2. There's a Prism going for a Adept or 2, so maybe going to try and catch PtitDrogo off guard. PtitDrogo going to be moving out onto the map, so he's not aware of this Prism. PartinG going to maybe pick off a Stalker. That's a nice pick off there, so he's going to be retreating back to his main base, though. He sees that PtitDrogo is going for this move out. He's going to hit the natural, though, and this could be some very good harassment by PartinG here. Picking off 2 Adepts, picking off 2 Probes so far, pardon me. They just have to retreat to that endless field of shield batteries. PtitDrogo continuously poking in here. PartinG's going to have to retreat to his main base. He doesn't have a shield battery back at home. And there is the Immortal, and that's really going to make all the difference in the world in this fight. The Disruptor is going to be out in just a second here for PartinG, so this is really going to be the play maker or breaker for PartinG. PartinG trying to get some harassment done with this Warp Prism, forcing PtitDrogo not to focus completely on this attack. PartinG pulled back to his Nexus. He cannot afford to lose this Nexus, but PtitDrogo is just right-clicking on it. However, this Disruptor is moving forward. Gonna hit 1 Stalker and that's it. However, that's very unfortunate for PartinG, so PartinG may be forced to fight into this poor choke point. He may lose his Nexus right now, so it's looking very rough for our Korean Protoss player. The Nexus goes down. No more Disruptors are on the way for PartinG, so he does just have this 1 Disruptor. PtitDrogo may go for the kill right now. Disruptor gets a semi-decent connection there, picking off a few units. However, the loss of this Nexus is still huge. Force fields going down, but for both these players, PartinG, they're really backed into a corner. This Immortal for PtitDrogo has been huge. Disruptor Shot goes out, picks off an Adept, but it is just the Adept. PartinG hasn't been producing any more Disruptors. He's been forced to warp in other kinds of units, when really he does need these Disruptors for plays. Whereas now PtitDrogo just going to retreat home. PartinG trying to get some more harassment done. He's killed off a few probes on PtitDrogo's side of the map. However, it's not been enough to justify losing his own Nexus back at home. So PartinG going to have to go for the I'm desperate, I have to kill my opponent counterattack. He's starting a Nexus though, but it's just so late. The fact that he lost this Nexus is huge. He's going to try and fight it out. He's going to try and do his best. However, this Warp Prism is going to be caught by PtitDrogo. Does get away though. So this one Disruptor is going to have to be the ultimate playmaker here. Picking off a Sentry is a nice pick off there. We'll see if he can catch these two Stalkers. This is actually huge for PartinG. Going to get on into the base of PtitDrogo, and PtitDrogo doesn't have that much. He's got two Immortals somewhere out on the map. He's actually going for a harassment there. So PartinG is all in by all means. So it's really going to be up to this one Disruptor to be the playmaker. PartinG has been forced to pull his probes off the line. The one Disruptor Nova goes off, connects with a shield battery, picks off a Zealot. However, that's really not enough. PtitDrogo knows that, so he's just going to be forcing PartinG back right now. That Disruptor is going to need to recharge. PartinG, if he can pick off any unit, it's so critical. However, he does just have the one Disruptor. He's lost his main base, so he can't warp in any more units whatsoever. He's going for broke right now. He's trying to pick off that Immortal. However, the shield battery, endless repair there. PartinG trying to make it happen, but he can't. GG gets called. PtitDrogo advances 3-1 over his opponent.